In the previous lesson, we learned how to multiply two binomials using the box method. So if I am multiplying the binomial 2x plus 3 times the binomial 4x plus 1, I place each of the terms along the side of the box, so 2x plus 3, 4x plus 1, and then I multiply the sides of the box, each piece of the box that go together. So 4x times 2x is 8x squared, 4x times 3 is 12x, 1 times 2x is 2x, and 1 times 3 is 3. And then we saw that typically two of those terms that we get inside our box are going to be like terms. So we combined them and we end up with 8x squared plus 14x plus 3. Today we're going to use the distributive property. It is the exact same answer. We're going to see the same terms. We're just going to organize it a little differently and see that it looks a little differently, but it's the exact same thing. So we're going to take this 2x and we're going to distribute it to both terms in the other binomial. So we're going to do 2x times 4x, which is 8x squared. We're going to do 2x times 1, which is 2x. Then we're going to take this 3 and we're going to distribute it to both terms in the other binomial. 3 times 4x is going to be 12x, and 3 times 1 is 3. Notice we have two terms that are like terms. They're the exact same things we saw before, and we end up with 8x squared plus 14x plus 3. So we get the same answer, we see the same terms, it's just a different way of organizing it, maybe takes a little bit less space. Now the goal is to become fluent with these. The goal is to be able to look at two binomials, see what your first term is, see what the two terms that are going to combine is, write it down, and then see the last term. And so to be able to look at where you started here and what you're going to end up with here without necessarily writing down or going through this step. That's the goal. The more we practice it, the quicker we will become, and the less you'll have to write that down. Today, we are going to simplify these to multiply these using the distributive property. We are going to show those steps, and as we get more experience with it, we'll begin to show less. So this is the distributive property, so I'm going to take this 4a and I'm going to distribute it to everything in the other binomial. So 4a times a is 4a squared, 4a times 2 is 8a. Then I'm going to distribute the 3. 3 times a is 3a, and 3 times 2 is 6. Notice I have two terms that combine, so I end up with 4a squared. 8a plus 3a is 11a plus 6. So as we have been seeing, multiplying these two binomials has given us a trinomial. What you have to be careful with is signs, and make sure you're paying attention to whether something should be positive or negative, and your integer rules. So this time I'm multiplying 3a times 4 plus times the binomial a minus 2. So we're going to take this 3a times a is 3a squared, 3a times a negative 2 is negative 6a. Then I'm going to distribute the 4 times a is 4a, and 4 times the negative 2 is negative 8. So I have two terms that combine again. I have 3a squared, then negative 6a plus 4a is negative 2a minus 8. I multiplied the two binomials. I got a trinomial. Now I want you to try this one on your own. The binomial 4b minus 5 times the binomial b minus 2. Distribute, combine, give your final answer. When I distributed, I got 4b squared minus 8b minus 5b plus 10, which gave me 4b squared minus 13b plus 10. Okay? All right, now let's multiply the two binomials y minus 4 and 2y plus 5. Pause the video, You do the distributive property, you combine your like terms, and give your final answer. When I distributed, I ended up with the terms 2y squared plus 5y minus 8y minus 20. When I combined my like terms, my final answer was 2y squared minus 3y minus 20. Okay, that is how you multiply binomials using distribution.